How's it going, people? Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to Box to Box. I'm back in the hot seat. Love to Robbie and Cecil, who cover Box to Box in my absence, but it's a massive game coming up this weekend. Saturday, midday kickoff. We need to bounce back here at Villa Park against Aston Villa, and I'm going to introduce my guest, Aston Villa, big fan, Luke Vernon. What are you saying, Luke?
I'm good, bro. I'm good, man. Yeah? Nice to see you back, bro. Come on.
It's been a little while.
Yeah, man, it's been a minute. Yeah, last time we was in Birmingham, we had a good chat, and you beat us then, but...
And a lot's changed since then. I mean, if we talk about recent history in the last few games, I'm quite disappointed. But if we look back a couple of years ago when we last talked and where Arsenal have come since then, massive progress.
Yeah, for Arsenal, definitely.
Yeah.
Villa's been here and there. I'm happy that we're still in the Premier League, obviously. But right now, good evening. Yeah, good evening, people. He's back in town, yeah. And you know what happens? You know what happens when a manager used to manage another team and they play against their team? We're going to be ready, man.
He's going to want to pull one out the bag.
Exactly.
He did it for Villarreal against us in the Europa League semis. Let's not forget that one. It's not the first time we're meeting Emery post-Arsenal career for him.
Man, like, good evening, bro. Are you mad? Are you mad? Nah, he's actually like a sick manager, though. And I saw something on Sky the other day where they was rating all the managers in the Premier League, and they had the way that they disrespected, man. Like, he ain't done bare for different clubs, like, you know what I mean? And he's a top manager,
listen,
man.
I can't lie, you know, bro. There was a list a couple of years ago, or less than a couple of years ago, where Arteta was, I believe, bottom, if not close to bottom. So
I ain't gonna lie,
who cares about these lists?
He deserved to be there at that point, though, because the performances weren't there. You get me?
Fair. I don't think bottom was fair.
He was new.
And there was a lot of doubt about him and experience and so on. But as we sit here now, he's done a hell of a job so far, you know, and I don't even put the recent disappointment on him. I look above him in terms of that recent disappointment on our January transfer window. But listen, Aston Villa this weekend, you're here to talk about that. Unai Emery's already come up. Talk to me about Unai Emery, because since he's come in, he had that new manager bounce against United, but it's been a bit indifferent, you know, wins here, losses there, draws in between. Like, how's it gone so far?
When it comes to the games, we've got a win over Man United. We beat Tottenham. I can't remember the last time we've beaten them.
That was at their ground as well.
Do you know what I mean? Yeah. We've had some great results, especially away from home. At home, we are semi-struggling. However, as a Villa fan, I feel like you have to humble yourself sometimes, and you just have to respect the work that he's done after Gerrard and actually got us the results that we didn't think we was going to get. We beat Brighton as well. Brighton obviously flying.
They're up there.
We've had some good games. Do you know what I mean? So I think as Villa fans, we have to be a bit more humble. And saying that, I feel like you Arsenal fans need to humble yourselves as well. Like, I'm watching you like screwing, losing to Manchester City. Like, why are you moaning? Like you shouldn't even be up here. You know what I mean? Like,
I think the frustration.
You ain't built. No. Bring that back. Bring that back. But you ain't built like that. Man City are built above you. It's like, you know, when you argue with like a big brother, like they'll always be able to knock you out, and that's what Man City and Arsenal are right now. But you finished what, 5th last season?
Yeah, 5th.
Be grateful. You're joint top. Do you know what I mean? Like, I get, like, obviously your performances are dropping a bit, but you shouldn't even be where you are, personally.
I agree with that. I think us being top of the league for the majority of the season surprised everyone, let alone Arsenal fans themselves, and you know, even me going into this season, I said top 4 was the target. But after 19 games where Arsenal were the best team in the league, the best performing team in the league, Pep said it himself, the last 3-4 games has slightly unravelled that, to say the least. And you're right, you know, losing to Manchester City is not the be-all and end-all. I've seen Man City win league titles having lost to Liverpool twice in the season. So that frustration was just compounded by the defeat and the loss before that to Brentford and Everton, and leading up to it, our cushion is now gone. We was 5 points ahead, 8 points ahead. You had a gate where we've still got the game in hand.
Yeah,
I've still got the game in hand. But
that's against Man City, though, yeah?
No, Everton at home.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Beginning of March. So our next few fixtures: Aston Villa away, Leicester away, and then our game in hand against Everton. So we can get it back on track if we beat you guys here on Saturday. We beat Leicester and then win our game in hand against Everton. Whatever Manchester City do, we're back to the top of the table. But it's getting back on track that's most important. And at this moment in time, City game aside, the way Brentford and Everton set up against us, the low block, we found it very difficult to penetrate, create chances, and that's what I'm worried about this Saturday against Aston Villa. You are the home team, but Unai Emery might be looking at those 2 games against Brentford and Everton and
I think he has to.
Maybe setting up in a way where nullify us and try and pick your chances on the counter. How do you think you're going to approach the game?
I think it depends if he wants. So Ashley Young has been playing great at right back, for instance. So if he plays him, he might want to double up and put Matty Cash at right mid as well, just so there's that extra side there because obviously Xhaka's always running in from the left. You've got Martinelli that's been on fire as well. So he might want to double up on the defensive side of things and then just counter-attack. I think it's the best time for us to play Arsenal, realistically, because it's the descent of Arsenal that tends to happen most of the time after April. So like now it's like, is it happening too soon? But I think it's a good time for us to play and just go for it. Like I look at it like we've got nothing to lose. We shouldn't beat Arsenal.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So if we get a result, great.
This is like the bedding in period for Emery and Aston Villa.
Like even against Man City, we've just played Man City. Obviously, you guys played Man City as well.
Both lost 3-1.
Yeah, both lost 3-1. What do you say? Arsenal and Villa on the same level, yeah?
I don't know about that.
Bro! Obviously, one more time, going to have Tyrone Mings back as well. Obviously, Chambers, coming from you guys, he looked a bit out of place. But I guess when you're not playing, it's going to be hard, and it's Man City, so I can't like be saying, oh, it's his fault. But yeah, man, I think you just have to humble yourself sometimes. And if we can get a result out of Arsenal the same way we've got results out of the other big teams, I would not complain. As long as we play good. If we was to lose, but we play good, that's where we're at as a football club, innit? Because I'm looking at next season now. We've got Unai Emery. The signings are going to start coming in. We're not broke like we're a rich club. You know what I mean? So hopefully we can start bringing
history
in
as well.
Big history, big names coming in, and yeah, man, fingers crossed. Like look at this pitch. Look at this. You see what we do for you guys at Villa? Like we bring it in, make it comfy.
I said it to you just before we went, live with the recording. I love these old school grounds and old school pitches. Obviously football now it's all commercial. You've seen Arsenal move into a big stadium. Tottenham, City have done it in the past, and all of these clubs are renovating in a way to be bigger and better financially. But there's something about coming to these grounds with all the history behind it and how compact it is and the noise that the fans make. So I ain't going to be here on Saturday, but I'm looking forward to Saturday. And you mentioned two names, Xhaka and Martinelli. And post-World Cup for me, they haven't hit the heights that we saw of them in the first 14 games going into the World Cup. And I put that heavily down to Jesus being absent. Jesus as a striker is different class, in my opinion, to Eddie Nketiah. He can make something out of nothing. He can be a nuisance to the defence. He can drag centre-backs out of position and create space for Xhaka, who used to run into the box. Martinelli. Now we're seeing less impact from Martinelli and Xhaka in the final third, heavily due to Martinelli. To Jesus. And then now we've been hit with the Partey injury as well. And if you asked me at the beginning of the season, the two key players for Arsenal, it would have been Thomas Partey and Gabriel Jesus. And now we ain't got either.
But I feel like you have to accept injuries are going to come. And I was speaking to my best friend's an Arsenal fan, and I was saying to him, like, look, if Jesus gets injured, you've effed it. You've got nothing to stand on. But then Nketiah come in.
He stepped up.
Because I'm not going to lie, at first I was laughing. I was like, Nketiah.
Yeah.
Last season, my man was playing for the other teams. Like this season, this season is going in. And I'm like, yo, man's actually quick. He's got great positioning. He's done a good job. But I do think Jesus takes a lot of pressure off the other players that allows them to cut in and get their goals. Like obviously Saka's still performing. Big up Saka. And yeah, man, I just think it was naturally going to happen. You know what I mean? Like, it's people are going to start seeing how they play, start playing a different way against them, not letting them cut in as much. And yeah, man, the drop off was inevitable for me. But as I say, my best friend's an Arsenal fan, so I wouldn't say no to them winning the league. It's about time we had something fresh in the Premier League.
Yeah, listen, everyone knows I'm an Arsenal fan, but I actually think it'd be good for the league as well. The way Man City have dominated over the years and the money they have and the power they have in that money. Yep. I just think it would have been a welcome change to say the least. But they are now top of the league. It's the first box to box I'm doing in a while where Arsenal actually sits second and not top of the table. But I really rue that January transfer window because as much as we bought players in and I like Trossard, I think Jorginho was all right against Manchester City.
No. I thought he was about to say the signing. I think it's a great signing. I think it's a great signing.
I'll argue against that.
For the little fee that you paid, for the experience that you're going to get. If Partey was not injured, and you bring him on for like the last 20 minutes, the game's getting controlled. You know what I mean? So that's the way I was seeing it. I'm not saying like you needed the replacement. Like you've got, is it Lukonga?
Well, he's at Palace now.
Oh, is he gone?
He's on loan. Yeah.
Peak.
It didn't work out for him in the short term, so I don't know what's going to happen with his future. But we needed a body in there. But in January, it just feels like we flirted a lot with, you know, Mudryk, and I'm not actually too disappointed with Mudryk because I didn't know much about him. The noise was created by us and the interest and so on. And yes, he went to Chelsea, and to be honest, he hasn't really hit the ground running, in my opinion. Caicedo, that's someone that I would have loved at Arsenal Football Club, and obviously
proven as well.
If you ask me Caicedo or Jorginho, I'm definitely taking Caicedo, younger, and
but it's the big price difference as well. That's
massive price difference.
That's what you got to think as well.
But you know what it is, Luke?
Go on.
When you're top of the league,
you got to spend the pig.
You got to kind of change your ways.
Because if you, like, let's say you're planning for next season now, same way like Liverpool did last season. Like, look at Liverpool this season. Like, horrid. Horrid. They realistically, what did they do to Sal Mane? Sal Mane, they brought in Nunes,
Gakpo came in January.
In January. Like, all you've done is lost Mane, and you 10th, 9th or something like that?
9th, 10th, around that.
Crazy.
Yeah, they're battling with Chelsea somewhere.
Like, so it just shows how much Mane was actually doing for that team, in my eyes anyway, and how people just got used to the way that Liverpool play. So you just got to be hopeful that that's not Arsenal. You got to hope now that next season you are fighting for second and third or first again. Because realistically, a lot of the teams this season have played horrendous. Yeah,
and that's my worry. This looked like it's the best chance we're going to get in a while. That's not to say we're not going to have a chance next year and the year after that. But when you look at the quality in the other teams, it's only really been Man City and more recently Man United that have been performing to a high level. And you know that loss against Man City. Let's see how it affects us mentally, because it's 4 games now without a win, if you include the Man City FA Cup tie as well. I think changes are necessary. I know he changed it up against Man City.
I like them changes, man. Yo, keep them changes, man. Tomiyasu, keep him there, bro. Watkins will take that pass, man, bro.
Listen, aside from that first half an hour where he had a mare, he picked himself back up again, and the rest of the game he was all right. But I'm looking at Trossard, who out of the January signings, he's the one I like the most. He's the one I've enjoyed watching the most since he's been at Arsenal. I'd probably start Trossard.
Would you start him over Martinelli?
I'd start him over Eddie Nketiah.
Okay.
Because he's not a striker. He's not an out number 9. But what he will do is he'll drop, and that is a similarity to Jesus. He is not Jesus by any means, but maybe that will create the space for Xhaka and Martinelli to then run into. So I'm looking maybe for a change up top. But then at the same time, like you just mentioned, Eddie hit the ground running, having Jesus injured against teams like Villa in terms of West Ham, Brighton. Man United one's a bit different because they was performing at a high standard going into that game. But maybe this is Eddie's game. I'm just looking at it in recent games and not creating enough chances, not having enough presence, and I'm just thinking a change is necessary there. But we haven't done enough in the window for me to really suggest anything else apart from Trossard. If you're looking at Arsenal now, Luke, and this Saturday, who do you need to nullify in order to get a win?
Us?
Yeah.
Odegaard?
Yeah.
Keep him quiet.
I thought you were going to say Saka first, but look, Odegaard, correct.
Right.
No, it's true,
obviously,
it's true.
you keep Odegaard. Obviously, Odegaard's the one that's controlling the game, innit? So if we can keep him quiet, then they're going to push it out to the wing. Obviously, then it's them two for me, Odegaard and Saka. They're the two. But I feel like Odegaard in the centre of the pitch is danger. Is so dangerous. He's like, I don't like saying this saying because I don't believe it, but he's like your B-Tech Ozil. You know what I mean? Like, but he's still world class. Like Ozil, was different. You know what I mean? And now, because he can do the defensive side of things as well, and a bit more different build-up player, I love watching Odegaard. He's a breath of
You say
fresh
B-Tech
air.
Ozil, but more performances like this from Odegaard, more seasons like this, he'll surpass Ozil's legacy at Arsenal.
At Arsenal.
At Arsenal. Yeah, in world football, completely different.
Yeah, not like Real Madrid, because when he was at Real Madrid, different. You know what I mean? And Real Madrid only sold him because they was on some pretty boy thing, bro.
You know Real, they do these kind of things.
And that.
You know they do these kind of things. What about Aston Villa then? Where do you win the game? Midfield, up front? Is it defensive solidity?
I think obviously the counter-attack's going to be good. I think if we can do we play a lot of the long ball sometimes to Watkins and then get it across. I think if Bailey eats the right jerk chicken and rice and peas and that, we're going to dust up Zinchenko, you know. Dust up Zinchenko. No, because Zinchenko, I've noticed a lot of the time, obviously, he's in the centre of the field as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
So if that means to me that there's going to be a counter-attack to the right, but it just depends if we're going to play Bailey on the right or Bailey on the left.
Brings me to another player, Kieran Tierney, someone that I was hoping to see against, Brentford and Everton. And,
is he fit?
Yeah, he's been on the bench, and something about Tierney is we always talk about how good he is defensively, But we forget to mention how good he is in the attacking third too. Very different to Zinchenko. Of course, you can't compare the two in terms of what they bring from the position. But when you're coming up against teams with a low block who are stifling you, nullifying your chances, someone like Kieran Tierney can do a very good job breaking into that final third, getting balls into the box. So that might be another change that's on the horizon as well. Not saying for Zinchenko.
I'm ready for these changes, bro.
Yeah, you want to see?
Keep them changes coming. I'm ready to hopefully be the team that takes advantage of them changes, if that's the case. I personally think like you should stick to what was working, you know what I mean? But obviously with the Partey loss, is Jorginho going to start? I think Villa are in a time now where we're just trying to find the best starting lineup where we're going to play. We can have fun with it. Like we're not gonna finish in the top 4. Obviously, we want to finish in the top half. So I think we play to our strengths. When Coutinho come on against Man City, he looked fire. It was the first time in a while that he's looked on fire.
He's been hot and cold as well since he's come to Villa.
Exactly. We've obviously started with Buendia a lot. His energy though, I love Buendia's energy. I love Ollie Watkins' energy. I just really think I actually think it's going to be a good game. Do I think we'll get the win? No, but that's just me being honest. But I think as long as we play well and we put our play to the best of our abilities, and we're good to go.
Looking at your last couple of fixtures, obviously the 3-1 loss to City, before that a 4-2 home loss to Leicester.
That broke my heart, bro.
Yeah, well,
because we battered them post, but it was like a FIFA game, bro. You know, like when
the game don't want you to win.
And the game's like, what are you doing? I was fuming. Literally, they had like 5 opportunities and 4 goals. That was a FIFA game.
So how important is the bounce back now? Because you've also mentioned Emery's first season, time, you know, you need to give him time and so on. You mentioned finishing in the top half, but 3 losses on the trot, you know, for Aston Villa doesn't read well on paper. But at the same time, 5 games, no wins for Arsenal doesn't read well on paper. So I think a draw doesn't do both sides any favours.
Not any favours, but I'll take it.
You'll take it,
as the Villa team, I'll take it. But like, again though, I feel like most of the time Villa this season, we seem to do things that people don't think we're going to do. Do you know what I mean? They didn't think we was going to beat Tottenham. We went and beat Tottenham. First game against Man U, ended up beating Man U. You know what I mean? And even when we played them in the cup, we was the better team, but they ended up getting the win. So who knows? I like to be proven wrong. So I'd love to say like, it's going to be a draw and then Villa win, and I'll be like, yeah, buzzing.
Over the years, that's what I've turned to in terms of being an Arsenal fan. I'd rather be happily surprised than bitterly disappointed. Hence why I've been more on the pessimistic side of the fence. And I'd love nothing more than to get back to winning ways this Saturday, because it's a chance to put the pressure on Man City, who play at 3 p.m.
Who have you got after Villa?
Leicester away.
Okay, and then City again?
No, and then Everton.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah.
So we don't play City for a little while.
You can afford to lose to us, bro.
I don't know about that.
You take the last me.
Because we've lost our cushion now. And at the end of the day, yes, we've got a game in hand. That game in hand is in a couple of weeks, but if you let Man City go ahead in terms of points, they're ahead by goal difference now. If you let them go ahead by points, then the wind will be firmly behind them, and they'll probably... Listen, I think they'll take it from here anyway, when you look at their experience and their manager and the consistency that they're yet to find, and I assume they will find. But Arsenal are still in with a shout for this Premier League title. It's not over yet.
Let me ask you a question though. Would you still be happy if you finished second? I don't know why are you even thinking?
You know what it is, Luke? But I've grown up seeing us win titles. You know, back in the day when it was us and United.
You never won that many, bro.
What do you mean? We won enough for me to enjoy.
Yeah, all right, cool.
Invincible, something no one's ever done.
Yeah, I read
that. But those years, in those 7 years where Wenger came in and we won 3 league titles, they won 4. Anytime we finished second, I was disappointed. Yes, it's very different to then.
But like, look how long you haven't finished.
I know you are right. I get the argument.
Even third.
I get the argument.
Like it's the odd now and then.
I get the argument, but it's similar to what you said about 5th last year and being humble. Listen, when you're in top 4 and you're in the ascendancy, you know, you move into the new year in top 4, to drop out of it and finish 5th in the final few weeks. How can I not be bitterly disappointed? Same way this season, we were the best team for half the year.
I'm not saying not to be bitterly disappointed. I'm just saying like,
happy.
You should still be very grateful that if you guys finish second, you Arsenal fans should still be so grateful. Like, and it's only progression.
It's still improvement. It's progression. 100% is progression.
Mad improvement.
100%. But then let's say we don't get as good a chance as this in the next 2 years. And you ask me that question. You can't think like that, but we don't know what's to come in the future. So I might say, all right, at the end of the season, I didn't expect to win the league. I'm happy with second. But then in 2 years, let's say we're a bit further off a league challenge or a league title. I'm going to look back at this one and think, that was our chance. So I won't be as happy with it as I might have been looking at my expectations at the start of the season. It's so hard to balance because we've done so well, we've led the way. All the other teams around us, aside from City and to an extent Newcastle, haven't really been doing their job this season, albeit United recently. So it's a hard question to answer. Second, right now, Luke, I'd be disappointed, but it's progress. We're in Champions League, and I'd want to see what the owners do with that Champions League money because I've got big question marks over their heads. Listen, Arteta has changed my mind over the years. Edu, I don't know if he's experienced enough to get the big names over the line, but the ownership have still got a lot of work to do behind the scenes, and we'll see more of that when we get Champions League and the Champions League money. Because I do think top 4 is secured.
Oh yeah, if it's not, I'll be laughing.
You'll be laughing, bro.
If you do not
I'll be crying,
top 4,
bro.
I can't, because I had a bet with my best friend about Tottenham and Arsenal. I thought Tottenham were going to finish above
A
Arsenal.
lot of people did.
Yeah.
Including myself with Antonio Conte at the start of the season.
I thought it was going to happen. And it looks like, he was like, whoever loses obviously just takes the other one out to wherever they want to go. I'm fuming. So like, even if like they start to slowly descend and come underneath, I'll be like, yo, my bet might be back on, baby. Boy.
I don't know, even if we descend, I don't know if Tottenham are going to rise anytime soon, if I'm honest with you. Because one week they're beating City, the other week they're getting pumped by Leicester.
Don't even get me started on Tottenham.
Yeah,
it's just,
we can talk all day about them and their lack of silverware and progress.
And the fact that you lost to Aston Villa and,
and lost to us, both 2-0 at their ground. Come on, bro, come on. But listen, prediction time. You're the home team, so we're going to start with you. What do you predict this Saturday? Don't try that whole jinx thing and predict the loss. Or
I'll be honest. After watching the game against City, I thought my chances were good. I thought 1-1. So
1-1.
I think if we can get the goal ahead, and then obviously just set up shop, friggin' park the bus, Jose Mourinho style. Yeah. I think you'll still get a goal, but I feel like we can potentially.
Do you know what? 1-1 has been on my mind. It was on my mind before the Man City game that this game would be difficult. Not only Villa away, but Unai Emery factor as well.
Good evening.
Yeah, good evening indeed. Let's hope it's a good afternoon on Saturday. So I've got 1-1 in my mind, but I'm gonna just go and say Arteta pulls this one out the bag.
Yeah?
I'm going to say Arteta pulls this one at the bag, even though I do think a draw is on the cards considering our recent form. I'm going to say a 2-1 Arsenal win. I'm going to say a 2-1 Arsenal win.
Because last time you would here, where was it? It's here, isn't it? Right, wait. Yeah, here, this is where you sit, yeah?
Yeah.
You lot celebrated, like you just won the league.
Yeah, I was here.
Right there.
I was here.
Right there. That was
last year, innit?
Yeah. You lot celebrated like you just won the league. And you know what? I need to out you Arsenal fans as well. How come you're throwing all the prime bars at the best player in the Premier League? Don't mean the prime drinks. Don't be throwing the drinks at the people. Apologise on behalf of the Arsenal fans.
I speak for myself. I talk for myself. That's it. I'm an Arsenal fan, but it is what it is. I'm going for a 2-1 win, Luke.
Yeah?
I'm going for a 2-1 win, but
yeah, man,
I'm weary about this one, I can't lie.
Yeah, man.
Listen, let them know where they can find you. I'm going to put the links in the description, but talk to them.
You can find me on TikTok. My name is Luke Vernon. You can also find me on Instagram. TikTok has 2.1 million followers. Instagram has 100k followers. And yeah, we're chilling. Follow me, baby.
He's doing his thing, people. He's doing his thing. So make sure you follow him up. Like I said, I'm putting all the links in the description below. A lot of the content he does is not Aston Villa related as well. So don't think you're just going to follow. Don't think you're just going to follow him. It's all Aston Villa stuff. It's not. It's a lot of entertainment there. So make sure you follow Luke. Love talking to you, my guy. Come on.
Respect, man.
People, it's your chance now to leave your predictions in the comment section below. Thoughts, lineups, all of that. Am I wrong to be a bit pessimistic about this game? Yes, I predicted 2-1, but I can see a draw happening for sure. But it's also a big chance to go back ahead of Man City, put some pressure on them before their game away to Nottingham Forest. Talk to me, people. It's been a little while. I'll go through the comments as usual. Hit the like button as usual. Let's get up to 1,000 real quick. And love for the love, people. We're out. Peace.
Hit the like of the Villa!
They absolutely battered Tottenham.
It's away at Aston Villa, and it's the early kick-off.
Think that they are in a title race?
Slam it in the top corner like Gallagher did. That's what City are on at the minute.
And the ball. They've hardly touched the ball. Played the shite on a Monday night. They hardly touched the ball.
Make sure you guys check out the Game Day Preview Show with myself, AGT, and Abby on DR Sports.